And let's do 3 Om together. Om. Ajnanaatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let's visualize Guruji, and this sloka says, let the Guru open my eyes with the collyrium of knowledge. So let's see him applying that collyrium of knowledge, Ajnana, which literally it's a preparation that we make and we apply on the eyes to open, even on our third eye. We apply it in tradition to open our eyes, all our eyes, to knowledge. And this, the Guru is preparing this, and he's doing this with his grace. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. So after Guruji, we invoked Krishna in our heart. And then Radha, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. And visualize Radha Krishna. We had some nice darshans today. You will see them again on YouTube, and then we'll give you also the video that we are recording right now on Zoom. You can just enjoy that. It was so amazing, all these angles, how they came to us right this morning. It is so amazing. Like without much preparation, they are just there. They want to come to us. Let's visualize that. Let's invoke them today. Ya kudendo tushara hara davala, ya shubravasta vrita, ya vinavara dandamandita kara, ya shveta padmasana, ya brahmachuta shankara prabhrutibir, deve sada vandita. Samampatu sarasvati bhagavati buddhi pradam sharade. So before doing all performance, especially it's related to education, to art, to singing, dance, whatever applies to knowledge, we always invoke Sarasvati Devi. And children in India are praying her every morning, and every time they have to learn. And she's there. Yes, I was about to describe her, but a picture. It's like all the words. So Ujjvala and Bhupendra are showing you Sarasvati Devi. You see, she has the veena, an instrument of music, and she is with us. And you can see her also at the ashram when the pujas are done. There is a big Sarasvati. Thank you so much. Super to have her. And finally, we will be grateful to be a Vaishnava. So we say it's very, very rare to be a Vaishnava. We need many incarnations to become a Vaishnava because it's about polishing our nature to attain supreme love. So all other paths, and I can talk to you about my path, and we'll have time to discuss about that today, that this is such a sweet path of devotion, bhakti, Bhakti Marga. Bhakti Marga means the path of devotion. It's so precious to be on this path and to work on ourselves until we achieve supreme love, para bhakti. We have bhakti, we have just normal devotion, and it's good to attain even devotion, which is beyond like human love, but it's very, very precious to attain para bhakti, the state of unconditional love, supreme love. And this is what we will talk today. We'll talk a lot about this today because it's the one of the aim of Bhagavad Gita, to bring us there, to bring us to this nice feeling of unconditional love, loving everyone, loving everything, being completely purified. So it's a path of purification. All the chapters are there like a garland to purify us. So let's see this mantra and visualize that you bow down to all the Vaishnavas. We say in the tradition, even the dust from the feet of the Vaishnavas are precious. This is why when we put the hand on the ground, it's to take the dust of the after the feet of the devotees of the Lord. So the Lord is precious, but his devotees are also precious, and we are all precious, and let's give love to each other as well. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Wonderful. So nice to be with you here today. Thank you for coming. Welcome, everyone. And we will enter in Bhagavad Gita, and I will use today the small Bhagavad Gita Essentials, which is a very, very precious tool. If later you will one day teach Bhagavad Gita, this small Bhagavad Gita that has been done by Bhakti Marga, it's an amazing book for teaching, and also for you to have it always with you and be able to imbibe the knowledge that is inside. And I will not give you everything, because I want you to read it every day. And Guruji says this. Let's start with Guruji's words about this, because it's always good to remind ourselves. Special note from Paramahamsa Vishwananda, you have this at page 11. The Bhagavad Gita is not a novel. It's not just a book which you read whenever you have time. You have to soak your mind with it, not only reading it one time. So you have to soak your mind into it. So it means that it's a meditative reading, which will create a transformation. It's starting to live it, not just read it. Many people read Bhagavad Gita, and I'm in France, and I don't know if you know, but France is a country in which people like to read. It's the country of philosophy, and mostly everyone, a lot of people read Bhagavad Gita. I was surprised. I went into a shop some days ago, and we started to talk with someone like very normal. He read Bhagavad Gita, and not only the book, but he read many other critiques about it and explanations about it. But it's not because we just read it that we understand it. And what we have to achieve through the work on Bhagavad Gita, the study, has to come inside, has to have a fruit inside, has to be a living experience. So what is Guruji saying? Just listen let's just listen to Guruji. You have to dive into it, to dive, like going under, because each line of the Bhagavad Gita, each phrase which Krishna has uttered, has a deeper meaning in your life. It's not outside of your life. He didn't say something alien to you. Alien means strange, a stranger, something that is, it's out of you, out of this world, right? Actually, what he has spoken 5,000 years ago, it's still relevant to now. If you see what Arjuna went through, everybody goes through the same thing. That's why you have to dive into it. Read it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 100 times. Become a living and walking Bhagavad Gita. It's so beautiful. So read it several times and dive into it. And the best thing, so the experience we have in our Lingam blessing sessions, because we do Bhagavad Gita every Monday, is that whatever we live on that Monday corresponds to where we are in Bhagavad Gita. And you can start like this, saying, let me live according to Bhagavad Gita, and read it every day. You'll be surprised to see, and especially in the commentary of Guruji, because Guruji is commenting, it's giving you the essence of the verses when you don't understand them by themselves. You will see how much it's talking to you where you are. There is a satsang I did yesterday. It's on YouTube. You have to see the Bhagavad Gita series, slokas. And I was talking about this. We were exactly at that point. I gave before the satsang of Bhagavad Gita. We were talking about transformation, how to transform. We reached chapter 18. It's a chapter of transformation. And exactly what I said before, we had in the sloka and the commentary of Guruji after. So we are so in tune when we live with Bhagavad Gita every day. And this is a recommendation I can give you from the beginning. To start it now, even now, start putting yourself into it, you will see how much you will get from what we will live today together. Wonderful. Another nice phrase I like from this book is just at the beginning. I will give you just the explanation and then we will start the chapters. Is how it's defined. So you have this beautiful page here about Paramahamsa Vishwananda. It's just at the beginning. Yes. It's just the very first page, page 1. And see with me, just the first lines. This is the essence of the whole book and the essence of what you have to know. What is this book about? The undeniable message of the Bhagavad Gita is that our true being and our eternal, ever-joyous relationship to the Supreme Infinite. So our relationship with the Divine and our being itself means our Atma, our soul. So both of them, this and especially this relationship, is obscured by our identity with the body and mind. So it's hidden. What is our true being and the Dharma of it? So who you are as a soul today, as Atma today, and also this relationship with the Divine, this perfect relationship, not just, yes, I like Kurchi, I like Krishna, no, but this beautiful, subtle relationship of heart to heart, of love, of devotion, this ever joyous relationship. It means that you are always in perfect bliss. This is not possible. So it's not possible for you to know who you are. It is not possible for you to achieve the highest relationship with the Divine if, because of your identity with the body and mind. If that identity is very present in you, it means if you have attachments to your body and you have confusion in your mind, it's not possible to see who you are, to know deeply, highly who you are, not just a glimpse of you and not just the individual being you are, but to know yourself deeply, fully, and to know the Lord Krishna. And at least if you can't know yourself fully, because there are different dimensions of yourself, and you can't know the Divine fully because there are different dimensions of Krishna, and we will see that, at least you will have a dimension of a relationship with Lord Krishna, which will be so fulfilling, which will increase, which will transform. And all of us, and I can tell for myself, all of us had this transformation in our relationship with the Divine through the relationship we have with our Guru. So this is something to remember. And Lord Krishna tells us that our goal is God communion. So as a Vaishnava, we want to be in this relationship with the Divine, not merging into Him, not disappearing into Him so that only He exists, which is the aim of other traditions. Merging into God, like I'm God fully, like Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta philosophy. Our philosophy says we want a relationship with Him. We are not the same fully as Him because we don't express fully Vishishta Advaita Vedanta. We don't express fully our divinity. He expresses it fully, even beyond full. He is beyond our mind. And we want to be in relationship with Him. And the way to achieve this is bhakti, pure devotion, which shifts us from limiting selfishness to unlimiting love. So at the beginning, we are limited, we are selfish, more or less selfish. We want God only for us, we want others only for us, we want things for us. We are not fully open to everyone and want to share Him with everyone and share ourselves and everything, give everything to everyone. That is unconditional love, unlimiting love. So we have this path which is helping us to include more and open our heart more and purify this relationship we have with others. And our love gets purified. We go through different stages of love and different stages of understanding. And this is what Bhagavad Gita it's all about. So let's take a moment to just meditate on what I just said. We will have some small breaks like this in which we just try to fix in our mind something that we listen, so that it becomes our experience, and see yourself where you are right now. So we are starting now on this journey of Bhagavad Gita today. And let's see where we are today. What do we want? And let's set an intention inside. What is my intention today? Why my soul pushed me to join this program, to do this program today? There is a purpose there. What is the purpose for me? What is my intention for today? Set an intention, a sankalpa for today. Let today, Gita Jayanti, so it's the birth of Bhagavad Gita, is the day when Lord Krishna gave this amazing message to Arjuna on the battlefield. And the battlefield, it's this nature we have. Our body, it's a battlefield. Our spirit, there's so many contradicting things in us. That is this inner war we have. Just see this war inside you, and that is this battlefield, and these nice energies and negative energies. It's not outside, it's inside you. And today, with the grace of Lord Krishna, who gave this message on this day to Arjuna, you also have this opportunity to awaken to your nature, to awaken to this relationship with Lord Krishna. So let's meditate on that and set your intention for today. Let's take all the energies we had from the puja, from the abhishekam, from the bhajans we had before, and also from the energy of this day. Let this awaken us. So you see, Lord Krishna has given this teaching to Arjuna on the battlefield. So Arjuna is every one of us, because there is a relationship between the Guru, who is Lord Krishna here, and Arjuna, who is the disciple. And he is there on this battlefield. He has to fight against his family. And this is well explained before in Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata. Mahabharata is the story of great India. It's one of the big texts of India. And we have these 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita who are extracted from this big story of India. And before Bhagavad Gita starts, before our part starts on the battlefield, because this is where we see Arjuna first time, before we have the story of the good characters, the Pandavas, the five brothers of Pandu, King Pandu. He was a king, but then he left his body, and his children were given to his brother. He had to take care of his children. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. These are the five Pandavas. And they need to receive their heritage, which is in the hands of their uncle. And this is not happening actually there, because the 100 cousins that you will see on the battlefield, they want to possess everything. They are the incarnation of the negative parts of ourselves, and especially the eldest one is jealous, and it's really the symbolic of the ego, Duryodhana. And we see that this is like a never-ending story going on. They can't get their property, so then this war has to come. And Lord Krishna tried to stop this war several times. It was not possible because they didn't want to understand that they have to, yes, to be nice, to just express nice qualities, that they were too negative. And finally, all the family will be there to do this war, even the grandfather Bhishma and their teacher Drona. So these are characters that Arjuna likes. He remembers his childhood, so it's not easy. You are on the battlefield, you have to fight again against your family, but not only the bad elements, but also people you love. And this is our path, is that sometimes we have to learn to say no to people that we love. We have to learn to be strong in front of people who will not understand our path, not understand why we are Hindu, if we live in Europe, and why we need to have a guru, and why we need the path of bhakti when we could have just a normal job and be just normal in brackets, right? And this is the war we are having, or maybe the war in the company with your boss and so on. So think of all the wars right now. Arjuna is you. You are in front of the wars that you have to do every day, from the moment when you have to wake up, and that is the first war with your negative quality of inertia, right, of tamas, until the wars with others. So all these multiple parts of conflict that we have inside. So Lord Krishna here comes from beginning as a counselor, because he's counseling. He was trying to stop this war. He was trying to resonate the enemies, but it was not possible. So finally he comes, and he himself helps Arjuna to go on this battlefield. He is holding the reins of the chariot who has Arjuna inside, and he is bringing him in the middle of the battlefields. And let's enter a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the role of Krishna and more. Let's go into chapter 1 directly. And the chapter 1 is Lamentation of Arjuna. So Arjuna, of course, as I said, he was not happy that he has to face his family and fight and maybe die. He was scared of his own death. He was scared to hurt others. And there is such a process inside him, and that is our process. So from this moment, start identifying yourself more and more with him, because this is our story. And the more we tell ourselves our story, the more we find solutions, the more we face it. Okay? And the king Dhritarashtra, so this is the uncle, the blind uncle. So he's blind because he's ignorant. He is interested to know what is going on the battlefield, because his 100 sons are there, the 100 sons who are the negative sons. And he asks Sanjaya, who is his assistant, to see and tell him what is going on the battlefield. And Sanjay has this siddhi, this power to see, actually to have a vision and see everything on the battlefield. This is the ancient science of India, and this is the ancient science of who we were, is that, before, in ancient time, we could invoke Lord Krishna and we could see Lord Krishna because our third eye was open. We had that power to see. Today it is closed by our identification with our body and our density. But in that time, and we have this in Bhagavad Gita several times, all the powers that these characters have and that we could have. So Sanjaya, it's a very, very special character. Through his eyes, we will see the whole Bhagavad Gita from beginning until end. And he's seeing a distance, and he's telling the king what is going on the battlefield. And let's start verse 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samavetayuyotsavaha mama kapandavascheva kim akurvata Sanjaya. O Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra says, O Sanjaya, after I gathered on the holy field of Kurukshetra, being eager for battle, what did my sons and the Pandavas do? So he wants to know what is going on there. Sanjaya uvacha drishva tu pandavanikam vyudam duryodhanastada acharyam upasangamnya raja vachanam abravit. Sanjaya says, O king Duryodhana, seeing the Pandavas' army in military formation, approached his teacher Drona and said these words. Pashyetam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Duryodhana says, O master, behold this mighty army of the Pandavas led by the son of Drupada, who is your intelligent disciple. So Sanjaya starts to tell him what is going on the battlefield, and the warriors are introduced. In that army are heroes and great archers like Bhima and Arjuna, Yuyudhana, Virata and Drupada, Drikshtaketu, Chikitana, valiant Kashi, Purujit, Kuntiboja, so on, Saibya. And we have the description of the army here and how they are ready to fight, and everyone has his own weapon. You will see the conch, and the war is about to start. And when the war is about to start, they are blowing the conches. So we move on. Krishna is introduced. So Sanjaya keeps telling the king what is going on there, and that Sri Krishna is there, and he's describing to the king everything in details. So it's like a movie in detail. Imagine the power of the vision, the power of his on spiritual path, because to be at such a high level, of course there are people who can have spiritual powers because they had some good karma in past lives, they did some yoga which awakened, but everyone is not fully awakened having this. But here we have Sanjaya, who is such an amazing being, and he is describing in detail. And he goes, Sri Krishna blew his conch. The conch of Sri Krishna is called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, named Devadatta, and Bhima, the performer of terrible deeds, blew the great conch Poundra. I'm at page 19. And then everyone is blowing the conch, and there is an atmosphere, a suspense that starts happening. We almost feel this into you. You have to battle with your boss, with your family, with something strong in your life. It's something bigger than you. Think of your biggest problem right now. That is your battle right now. And then everyone is preparing for the war, and Arjuna tells Lord Krishna, to bring the chariot in between the two armies so he can have a global vision of what is going on. He can see everyone, he can see his family, he can see his army, the good people, the bad people, all this, and he starts seeing that. And suddenly so much emotion is coming into him. And we see him, he's going through all the phases. It's like this inner conflict when you start denying what you have to do. You don't want to face it. And then you see it, you go into the emotion, you suddenly become aware that you have to fight, you have to be there, that you cannot be removed from there. No one can replace you. And then he starts by refusing to fight. And the first chapter, it's like a monologue. he starts telling Krishna why he doesn't want to fight. Again, it's ourselves. When we don't want something, something is bigger than us, we have a problem, it's always other people's fault, or we don't want to do it and we find all the excuses for this. And then he tells Lord Krishna, "Oh Krishna, I see only calamity for the future. I cannot see any good in killing my own family in battle." So first he says this is not good. And you have to know that Mahabharata was imprinted by the notion of the sin and karma. I mean, you cannot do bad action because you will have sins if you do something bad. And these sins will give you bad karma. And that bad karma will not help you to awaken, right? And then he says, I don't want anything. You know how we are, that sometimes we have to do something bad to others. We know it's what we have to do, but we are not brave enough. So then we will say, okay, let me suffer, let me not have something, let them be happy. And he says, no, I don't desire victory. So page 23, nor do I desire victory, a kingdom or happiness. Of what use to us is a kingdom, enjoyment, or even life itself? So you see, he says, if I leave actually my family, if they die, if I don't see them, what is the use of me having this? So he has nice qualities, right? And he has compassion as well. He's scared, he's compassionate. And he also says that the whole society will get ruined if he starts this war. It will be really so bad. And he goes on and on. And Lord Krishna is listening to him. So Lord Krishna is holding the reins of so he is the one like going in front, right? So going in front, it means that the Paramatma, the high soul that we want to achieve, is leading us. And us, the small souls who are there behind, who attached to all this. So now you see yourself. So Arjuna is this beautiful soul, is the best disciple ever. He's such an example to have for us who are striving on this path. This is the best example on the path, Arjuna as a disciple, the best disciple. At the same time, at this moment of the story, he is really, in a lamentation, and he finds excuses, and he starts shivering. And you will see the end of the chapter ends like this, is that he is throwing his bow and he says, I do not fight. I don't want to fight. And then chapter 2 starts. And chapter 2, so the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yogaha. So the lamentation of Arjuna. And you see, chapter it's called Yogaha because Bhagavad Gita, it's also Yoga Shastra. It's a writing, like a document, scripture of yogas. It's also a very, very nice yoga book. It's not only a wisdom book, it's also a yoga book. Each chapter is a form of yoga. So despite Krishna urging Arjuna to shake off his weakness, he continues to express his unwillingness to fight. This is where we find Arjuna at the beginning of chapter 2. And chapter 2, it's called Sankhya Yoga, the eternal nature of the soul. Very, very beautiful chapter. And you see, it's very easy when we tell someone, just go and fight, nothing will happen to you, you will be safe. How can that person believe that, right? And especially when so much is going on. And Arjuna is shivering. His limbs are leaving, all the strength is leaving him. And then Lord Krishna is seeing him, and we see this in the first verses. Let's see also the first verses of chapter 2. Sanjaya uvacha tam tata kripaya vishtam asha purna kulikshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. Seeing Arjuna overcome with pity, depressed, bewildered, and his eyes filled with tears, Let's relate a little bit with him. Think of yourself, of your problems that you want to overcome. Krishna spoke these words. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupashtitam Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Lord Krishna says, where has this weakness come from, O Arjuna? It is not worthy of a noble person like you. Such faint-heartedness will not lead to the attainment of heaven, but to dishonor. Do not give in to this unmanliness, O Arjuna. It does not befit you. Throw away this weakness and arise, O vanquisher of enemies. How beautifully, Lord Krishna is the first coach that ever existed. When you see this, just raise, stand. Why are you so weak? This is what our parents are telling us, right? Our first teachers are telling that when we have good parents who want to encourage us. They will say, okay, what's wrong with you? Wake up, raise. Doesn't matter if someone told you some bad things at school, someone is bullying you, be strong, oh Arjuna, right? And this is how our teachers, the good teachers, are also encouraging us, right? When whichever field we have. And I will give you a beautiful story about singing later, about how a teacher was treating a very, very big singer in Indian music. It was not really like this, so it will be funny to hear that. But here, how beautifully Lord Krishna is reminding Arjuna that he's strong. And not only that he's strong, but he is the self, he is Atma, right? He is the vanquisher of enemies. He's reminding him his duty. Arjuna is a kshatriya, Arjuna is a warrior who forgot that he has to go and fight and who doesn't have the strength to fight. How crazy is that? And how we can relate to that. How many of you have beautiful diplomas, have so many skills, but you feel that you're not standing up to the qualities you have and talents you have, right? And this is what is the case of Arjuna right now. He is the biggest warrior. He is a kshatriya, not only the best disciple, but it's also a very good warrior. But he's losing his courage seeing this, because the fight he has to face, it's bigger than all the fights, because it's easy to go and fight some strangers. Even for us, sometimes it's very easy to ignore people we don't know, right? It happens to us all the time, in the train, outside. But it's very difficult to go and be confronted to our families, sometimes to the close people. Sometimes they don't understand us. They are the challenge for us to overcome. And whether we are strong and we stand, we raise, and we assume it, we face it, or we are not strong. And if you're not strong, we are coward and we forget who we are. We forget our strengths. And this is where Lord Krishna reminds Arjuna. And he goes, and he says, do not give in to this unmanliness. So it's a little bit even, like teasing him, saying, oh, come on, you are not a man. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Just raise and assume that you are, remind yourself, remember who you are. And this is what Lord Krishna is doing here. And of course, Arjuna cannot just transform right now very quickly, but he's listening. He starts listening, which he was not doing in first chapter. He was not listening to Krishna at all. Now he starts listening very beautifully. And he is going on and on. He tries to find some excuses, but he is at the end of his excuses because he said everything he had to say. And then at one point, there is a beautiful verse. We have verse 7, when he realizes that he doesn't know how to do by himself, that this challenge is bigger than all the challenges he had until then, and that he has to surrender. And then he says, listen how beautifully he says this, page 31, if you are in the small Bhagavad Gita Essentials. with my heart overcome by weakness and my mind confused about my duty, I urge you to tell me clearly what is good for me. I am your disciple and I take refuge in you. Please teach me. How beautiful is that? So the beginning, when he was just talking alone, he didn't want to listen. Lord Krishna did not say anything because it was useless. And he was knowing that Arjuna could not listen to him. But now Arjuna makes an effort, and this is the first step we are doing on our path, is taking refuge into someone who can help us. And if you want to learn music, you will go to a music teacher. If you want to learn drawing, you will go to a painting teacher, art teacher. But if you want to know the science of awakening, you have to find a guru. And this is where our society doesn't understand, because it's so easy to just find, you take a driver without knowing who he is, to take the plane without knowing the pilot. You take a guide without knowing if the guide is good, if he will make you cross the jungle of the mountain. But usually people have problems to accept the fact that they need a spiritual guru, and that is very, very important to know. If you want to go in the unknown of the spiritual path, and in the vision I told you about Sanjaya, who was seeing everything, and an avatar like Lord Krishna is seeing everything. And now Arjuna has this clear vision. At this moment he feels that he has to surrender to Lord Krishna. And that is so beautiful. And that makes Lord Krishna smile. But still, he's not ready to fight. Just know that at this point, Arjuna is still blocked, right? But he says, I'm ready to open a little bit, and I'm ready to take refuge into you. But I'm ready to open my heart. I'm not ready to fight. It's too soon for me. But I'm ready to listen to you, to tell me how to deal with this problem. Right? So this is where we go to our guru and say, okay, this is when we we tried by ourselves. We have these such people, and maybe you are one of them, and I was like this, and some people were like this, that sometimes we make like big circles, like we make we tour the world to solve a problem, and we don't feel like going and asking to someone, and especially we don't dare to ask the guru, or we are not brave enough or humble enough to just go surrender and say, listen, I don't know how to do it, please tell me. And we save time if we can do like this. And we save time in all the fields. This is why the oral tradition is so important. You can go and see millions of videos of music. You can go and read all the Bhagavad Gitas you can find. You can do by yourself whatever, try to solve by yourself. But when you surrender and when you take the energy, and it's all about the transfer of energy, this is what is the relationship guru disciple. This is what is the relationship guru disciple in music, in art, in every field. Going to someone who masters something, that energy will go directly into us. We don't need to struggle. We don't need to take time. We don't need to do big schools of anything. We just have to surrender to someone, take that energy, let that energy enter into this. This is how is it's ancient India seeing this transmission, learning. That is the fastest track. Instead of going alone in the jungle by yourself with all the maps you can have, you will get lost. Even if you have all the things, the direction, the cardinal points and all the maps, all this. If a lion comes and you don't know where this lion is, better to take a guide who knows where the lions are and where the danger is, and so you will be safe. And this is where Arjuna has this, this awakening at this moment, this glimpse of the first glimpse of awakening he has. And then Lord Krishna smiles to him, and then he starts teaching him. And the first yoga he gives him is quite a powerful and high one, Sankhya Yoga. He starts teaching him about the eternal nature of the soul. So eternal nature, it means that we are forever existing. And we don't know. When we are attached to our body, we are scared to die. We are scared of everything. And if we are not surrendered to God's will, and we did not put our life in His hands, but who can do this, right? It's a path. It's not easy. This is where this challenge comes, and society challenge. Are we ready to surrender? How much we can surrender? Until which point? I'm ready to do this, but not that. This is why all these initiations exist in the system, because every time we are ready to push a limit and to move further. Even if you are in a couple, in a relationship, it doesn't mean anything. It's just about your evolution. And I think later you can already think of experiences you had. Maybe some of you, we are used to talk about our experiences. If you want to share something, you know how it is that it's just popping in your mind when Guruji's grace is coming, when Lord Krishna grace is coming, you just feel like sharing. At any moment you can write in the chat and just share that, okay? And I will let you also share, but you can already think how you relate to this and maybe share with others. We are not many online, and it's very easy to do it, to feel like family and talk, okay? So think of what you could share about this with others. So Lord Krishna starts to give him Sankhya Yoga, which is very sacred yoga and special and precious, talking about the eternal nature, about the fact that we never die. We are forever existing. The soul is forever existing. And he starts to tell him about this. So page 34, page 35, page 36, we have this. And let's see some of the main verses here. The self is never born and it never dies. It has always existed and will never cease to exist. It is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and most ancient. Verse 20. It is not killed when the body is slain. Arjuna, if one knows this self to be indestructible, unborn, unchanging, and eternal, how and whom does one cause to be killed, and whom does one kill? As a person casts off worn-out garments and puts on new ones, so does the embodied self cast off its worn-out bodies and enter into new ones. Weapons do not cut the self. Fire does not burn it. Water does not wet it, and wind does not dry it. It cannot be cut, it cannot be burned, it cannot be wetted, and it cannot be dried. It is eternal, all-pervading, fixed, immovable, and everlasting. This self is said to be unseen, inconceivable, and unchanging. When you understand this, you should no longer grieve. So he tells him why he should not be sad, because anyway, whatever happens is good. Even if you consider this self to repeatedly go through birth and death, O Arjuna, still you should not lament, for death is indeed certain for everything that is born, and rebirth is certain for that which has died. Therefore you should not grieve for what is unavoidable. All beings have a beginning that is unknown, a middle that is known, and an end which is unknown. So why lament over this? The self is in all bodies, O Arjuna. It is eternal and indestructible. Therefore, it is not right for you to feel grief for any living being. So he gives him, now Lord Krishna gives him elements to understand that there is a higher nature of ourselves. There is a lower nature of ourselves. There is the spirit. This is in this science, in this Sankhya Yoga, which is a whole yoga that originates from Kapila Muni. It's originated from this. This is a sage who really structured this. Of course, it comes from Lord Krishna, but I mean, in the philosophy in Hinduism, it has been very, very well described by Kapila Muni. Everything comes from Krishna anyway, even Kapila Muni himself and Arjuna and everything, right? We will see later. You will see chapter 4. We'll reach there soon. We still have a little bit. of way. So he tries to reassure him, don't worry, your body is just a cloth. You will leave it, you go. You will exist forever. Nothing in this world is permanent in the lower nature, in the prakriti, in the matter, but everything is forever existing, it's eternal in the spirit aspect. Purusha is eternal, prakriti is just giving, the matter is just giving a vehicle to the spirit to be on earth, right? So he tries to explain all this and he goes on and on. And then, so first he tries to awaken to this science. Then he reminds him again that he's a warrior. Furthermore, so not only the eternal nature of the soul is important, but furthermore, considering also your own personal duty, you should not hesitate. For a kshatriya, a warrior, there is nothing superior to fighting in a righteous war. It's his duty. The duty was sacred. It's sacred for us. The duty you have is sacred for you. Wherever God placed you, whatever you do, even if you are just in your house being a mother, that is sacred. That is a duty. Wherever you are, taking care of your place or going to the office, wherever you are, that is a duty. That is your duty. You have to honor, and you have to see it as a yoga, as Arjuna has to see this fight as a yoga. Yeah, so he continues to tell him, and he even tells him that it's not a problem. All these great warriors were there fighting. Many went and had fights, and even the enemies will condemn him, but he has to be strong and just move further. And there is another nice thing, considering pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat to be the same, to be equal, equanimous. This is a very, very nice concept. You will see throughout Bhagavad Gita how to be equal, how to be peaceful, how to calm down and see everything as equal. Pleasure, pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, everything has to be the same. So he should not shiver. He should not be impressed by all this. Just move on, go further, go into the war. And then in the second part of chapter 2, so after giving him his big science, how many people can understand that, yes, you can go and fight, it doesn't matter because you are a soul. And Arjuna here, of course, is not ready. Even if he listens to that, he can't really, be reassured immediately, saying, oh, yeah, okay, I go and fight because it's fine, I'm a soul. But he listens to this. And the fact of listening to this truth, it goes into him. And the second thing, Lord Krishna says, it's his duty. And the third tool he gives him, the easiest tool, even for us, it's karma yoga. So he starts introducing karma yoga in chapter 2, page 41, the small book, if you have it, for the verses. And it's telling him that this knowledge which has been taught to you so far is based on Sankhya. Now listen to the teaching concerning karma yoga. When you act with this knowledge, O Arjuna, you will be free from the bonds of action. So he tells him, okay, you can't go to fight because still maybe you do not know that you are eternal. You know you are a warrior now, but still you can't assume your duty. Then go and do this fight as a karma yoga. Do it being detached of what you do. Go into it, being detached, leaving the result in the Lord's hands. This is karma yoga. But still, it's not so easy. Still, and you will see, it will go on and on. Arjuna, even up to chapter 11, he will have doubts. He will question. He's like a disciple. He says, yes, I understood. And then immediately after, he sees that it's more difficult than he thought. And the first time when I was listening to Bhagavad Gita course, and then when I was studying by myself, I was always happy to reach chapter 11. I was always thinking, when I will reach that chapter, it will be something. And I hope we will reach it together today. But you see, even after chapter 11, it's not solved. So how long is this path at the same time? 18 chapters. For Lord Krishna, it's 18 chapters that he told Arjuna on the spot, on the battlefield, and how much we have to surrender, and how easy it is, but difficult at the same time. This is the paradox of it. But still, if you do your action, so karma yoga, just to make a summary of this, because we will have it also in chapter 3, after describing the gunas, I will come on the gunas and the qualities of a realized person. Then we go on always with karma yoga, and the chapter 3 is dedicated to this yoga, this special yoga, this karma yoga, which is described in details. So yes, I was expecting that, and we expect that it will be awakening. And even on our path, we say, okay, it's fine, I understood. Now it will be fine. But the reality is that we are having ups and downs and ups and downs, and it is like this. And it's not a problem. It's like this. So let's take some time. Now see yourself where you are with your own challenge. That is our thread, right? We said, see yourself where you are in your life. Do you have enough strength to overcome your challenge? Do you see that what is your duty there? That maybe by not overcoming it, maybe you don't do your duty, even if fighting with what you don't like. Right? Let's start introspecting a little bit. Make a little break and breathe also. Start meditating on what we listen to. So come back to you being Arjuna, being scared of a challenge, of something bigger than you that you can't overcome. And you understand that by surrendering to the Lord, everything will be fine. You understand it's your duty. Very well. You understand that you are eternal, you are a soul, but still there is something there. And now when karma yoga starts, is focus on the action. Focus on the action. So what Lord Krishna says, go, do your action, surrender the result to me. Put it at my feet. I mean, he starts talking about this, but still Arjuna doesn't understand properly. This is why chapter 3 will start, and you will see that despite all explanation, he still remains confused. He doesn't know what to do. If one has to renounce action, then why is he being urged to fight? So this is what he understands, right? So he doesn't see the difference between karma and karma yoga. Karma is the action we do. We actually do what we the consequence we have after doing an action. We are having good points of bad points, good karma, bad karma. Karma is any action done with the body or mind that produces further consequences. Karma yoga, it's about performing an action in a detached state, thereby being free of any such consequences. You see the paradox. We say killing others is bad, right? That is bad karma. But as being a warrior, if it's his duty, he should not question that my duty is my duty. And the fact that he has this duty as a dharma, being born with it, this duty entitles him to go and fight with the bad elements, of course. So it's a good war. It's not a bad war here. He's an enlightened being somehow. He's special, Arjuna, here. But still, killing others is, we can say it's bad, right? But when it's our duty, it's positive. We have there a concept which is a little bit difficult to grasp, but I tell it to you: action beyond action. And we talk about this when we talk about gurus, is that the guru can do whatever he wants. If it's a true guru, of course, an authentic guru, we are not talking about people doing all kinds of crap, all kinds of cheaters, because they are, unfortunately. But a real guru, it's like a strict mother. She will not be always nice, but she will be right. And we can say, oh, it will be, someone is strict, we will have some bad consequence because it hurts someone else. We create karma when we hurt someone. Karma gets created from suffering. As long as you don't create suffering, you don't create karma. This is the science of Hinduism. But if you make someone suffer, if you create suffering, you create karma. By doing things in an attached way, like you are very angry, being identified to that, you don't have any detachment, you create something bad, right? But if you are like a mother, you are angry, but you are a little bit detached of that, you just want to teach a lesson, then your anger is justified. And here, the war is justified, right? So it's completely justified because Arjuna is a warrior, it's his duty. And also, what he has to do is to slay the negative fully, which is actually, I said again, just visualize that this war is inside you, killing the negative parts like anger, jealousy. We have all these enemies inside, all the attachments. Just meditate on that a little bit. I give you a small break. And let's have some nice little bit of meditation music. Let me find that for you.
Et si je te disais que tu pouvais gagner plus de 100 000 euros avec...
So let's meditate on us being Arjuna from beginning, helpless, having a challenge. Then taking refuge in the Guru who will give us the solution. And finally, we understand what is our duty. He is awakening us to our duty, our Dharma. And we take refuge into Him and we surrender the action we have to do to His feet. This is where we are now in Bhagavad Gita. And we don't expect anything, any result from that because it's in His hand. It's His will, how the things will turn out. Maybe we'll die in this battle, or maybe others will die. But we need to have full trust when we surrender our action and focus in the action, not think too much. So let's go into the heart and feel that surrendering. Let's come back. So actually, Arjuna is here confused. He said that he doesn't know if he will create bad karma, or and if that is it's equal with karma yoga. So he has a doubt, does not see the difference between both. And Krishna replies to him by saying that realization of the self can be achieved to two methods: by setting aside all duties and contemplating on the Atma, Jnana Yoga. So, this is the yoga of knowledge. So, you can set aside all the duties, all the things that you do, and just contemplate on the soul. You just sit and you contemplate, you introspect, and there are also, of course, exercises for this. Or by carrying out one's duties in a detached way. So, whatever you do, you do it in a detached way. That is karma yoga in the context of the Gita, which is actually renunciation to external action. So you have to renounce to the action itself. You leave it to the feet of the Lord, but you do it. And that is very easy. Whatever you do, you focus on the Lord. You try to focus on the action. At the beginning, you will not have this focus, permanent focus on the Lord, because you start doing the action and you will lose yourself into this and you will forget. But at least be absorbed in the action. This is where we are. We are at the level of being absorbed in the action. The ultimate will happen later. The ultimate surrendering, in which you are able to focus on the Lord all the time. It's only the Lord is there. Very nice if you can already do it, but Arjuna at the beginning he was not able. So this is where he is at the phase in which Krishna says, "Okay, don't be confused," because he's like, "Okay, should I act or should I sit or should I go into action?" Right? He's confused between yoga of knowledge or yoga of action. And Lord Krishna says, "Just don't worry. Um, do your action. Focus yourself on the action, be absorbed into it." Okay, so let's move on. So this is chapter 3. It's all about this, the inescapable nature of action, and these two different paths: the path of jnana yoga, yoga of knowledge, and the path of karma yoga, where we act with detachment. Okay, let's continue. So the wise people know how to surrender. And there is a very nice example that Lord Krishna gives about Lord Janaka. It was a king who, even after attaining realization, decided to still build the world and serve the people and do his duty as a king. And this is the example that he gives us for karma yoga. Even if you are detached of the world already, you could be in a cave, you can still continue your activities. It's okay. You will be still in service of people. And that is also high, with a high purpose to be in service of others. Okay, so it's going on, and it's about transcending the gunas and the karma as well. The gunas are the three tendencies we have: sattva, raja, tamas. We will speak more about it today because it's coming in different parts of Bhagavad Gita. And just know that you have these three ways of being. Whether you are a little bit tamasic, means a little bit lazy, let's say, or you have a lot of, your energy is just low. Let's say it's not sometimes even about laziness, but you don't have energy. It's very difficult to move, and it's very difficult to do something or to do several things. That is tamas. Um, of course, now these tendencies are a little bit mixed, because I think no one is, unless you are really ill, you are not completely, inert. Um, and then comes rajas. Rajas is the more agitated, rajasic, even a little bit warrior, aggressive side of us, right? We have that into us. And sometimes we have one which is dominant, like in the tree. And then you have sattva guna, and sattva is, let's say, in the tree is the most balanced, and even pure. But there is even a state beyond the gunas, and that state beyond the ultimate balance we have to achieve. So Lord Krishna is speaking about this. Know it, because we will speak more about that, and how the way we live, the way we eat, what we do, the way we do our actions, everything is related to these gunas, and are consequences of these gunas. If you eat something like very spicy, let's say like this, you will increase your rajas guna. If you eat something like this, is why onion, garlic, many things are forbidden in our diet, uh, as a Vaishnava, because they whether increase the rajas part or increase the tamasic part. For example, mushrooms. If you eat many mushrooms, a lot of mushrooms, unless you are really blessed, you will feel a little bit like sleepy. And this comes, how you react to things comes through your observation. So observe yourself. Of course, we have our rules, initiation rules as well. If you are a devotee, a brahmachari, and so on, we have devotees rules, and we have the ekadashis also. We have the fasting days, in which you can purify a little bit what is there. This is why we have every month. And you can find the calendar. We can, if you are not in the groups, write a message. I will add you to the groups in which you will know the dates. And today it's Ekadashi. And I don't know if you have eaten today until now, but I feel we are in such an energy. We don't even need food today, right? So today, I think we are going into easy fasting. Today it's the easiest day of fasting. So double blessing, Ekadashi day, fasting day, and also Gita Jayanti. Amazing, beautiful. So just know what is the gunas, okay? Because we will come back on that. What some concepts of the first chapters will be repeated by Lord Krishna in the second part of the Gita. So don't worry if we don't go into all the details now. And let's move to chapter 4 that we are waiting. Jnana Vibhaga Yoga, the path of knowledge. And this chapter 4 begins with Krishna telling Arjuna how he originally taught this ancient knowledge of karma yoga to Vivasvan, the sun god. So this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is ancient. It has been given to sun god. Due to the passage of time, it was lost, and now it is being revived once again. It is at this point that Krishna declares emphatically his identity as the Avatara, the Lord who has descended to protect Dharma and vanquish evil. So let's go directly into this. Verses 1 to 6, the revival of ancient wisdom, page 70. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivashvan Manave Praha Manur Iksh Vakave Bravit. Lord Krishna says, I taught this imperishable yoga to Vivashvan. Vivashvan taught it to Manu. Manu declared it to Ikshvaku. Handed down through disciplic succession, the royal sages received this knowledge, but due to the passage of time, Arjuna, this yoga was lost to the world. It is this same ancient yoga which I now teach you, as you are my devotee and my friend. Listen to this. As you are my devotee and my friend, I now teach you this yoga, this precious yoga that I have given to Sun God. And then Arjuna is shocked because he doesn't understand. So Krishna is in front of him and he looks like a human being, right? He's his friend, and he's also Lord Krishna is also his friend. It's in mutual, it's a relationship. And Bhagavad Gita, remember this? We didn't talk at the beginning, but it's the first book which is where we have this relationship between the guru disciple in the forms, because we had this notion of Brahman And we often talk about this, and even Bhagavad Gita talks about Brahman, the absolute God, the absolute concept of divinity, formless and infinite, but that is not with form. We don't have a form in that. It has to come down and become a form. And this is where Lord Krishna is taking a form. But Arjuna now is a little bit shocked and said, "Come on, what are you telling me? Your birth was recent, and the birth of Vivaswan was long ago. How is it possible that you taught this in the beginning?" So he's so surprised, right? Lord Krishna says, "Many births of mine have passed, O Arjuna, and so it is with you also. I know them all, but you do not know them. Though I am unborn and unchanging, and although I am the Lord of all beings, by using my own nature, Prakriti, I enter into this world by my own free will." So beautiful. How Lord Krishna is making the difference between Arjuna, his disciple, and himself, and saying, "I know everything. I know all my birth. I have the illimited and supreme knowledge, and you don't, Arjuna. You are just my disciple. Okay, I'm your friend. You are my devotee and my friend, but we are different." And in verses 7 and 8, Lord Krishna goes further and he introduces himself as the avatar of the age. And he tells Arjuna that whenever there is a decline in dharma, righteousness, and an increase of adharma, unrighteousness, it is then that I manifest myself. Very, very beautiful sloka to learn by heart. If there is one sloka to know, until now, it will be this sloka. And you will have other slokas in chapter 18 that I will tell you to learn. And it's a very, very beautiful sloka, and we'll have Ujjwala singing it to us today. And I will just read it to you once. And there are many, many melodies on this sloka, and I'm so happy we have someone singing it. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. And it goes to the second one. Paritranaya sadunam vinashaya chadukshkritam dharma samstapan artaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And why has Lord Krishna come? For the protection of the good, for the destruction of the wicked, and to establish dharma. This is why I incarnate myself from age to age, says Lord Krishna. And let's listen to this, sang by Ujjwala, who is with Upendra, by this our nice group. We have the chance to have a real concert group and concert team here. So that is so amazing. We had an amazing temple puja. Now we have a concert group. I think we are really raising in power in this family. I'm so happy. Wonderful, wonderful. So visualize now Lord Krishna coming down. Let's take a moment until the music starts to visualize. So there is Lord Krishna in front of Arjuna, like a human being. We don't see the difference. So Arjuna doesn't see the difference. And then Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that he is the creator of the universe, that he is the one who comes down to restore the Dharma, to protect the good, to destroy the wicked, and to establish the Dharma. This is why he incarnates. And let's visualize how he comes down to us, how he lands, how he landed. And you can also see him landing on the ocean as Mahavishnu when he landed, and he's on Adishesh How beautiful is that vision? Maybe we can have, maybe later when we make a break, we can have some slideshows of Mahavishnu and Lord Krishna. Such a beautiful happening. Let me know when you are ready, if you want to start singing. And everyone, when you want to do something, if you want to share, please always be ready and know the time. I will give you the mic to share. Write it just in the chat, and I will just fill it and tell, okay, you can share. And let's think of what we do after. If you have, I will give you a lunch break. I think I'll give you a lunch break. We will have some nice things. I will continue to do it live on YouTube and send the link to everyone and invite more people on Zoom. Maybe we can invite them in the afternoon and evening. People will be more free when they finish their work. Wonderful. Yes, so let's prepare ourselves with this beautiful verse. Yada yada hi dharmasya. You will hear this often. It's really well known slokas of the Bhagavad Gita. I just verified that I have. So, Jai Gurudev.
Very nice if you could put on your cameras, if you are not at work, of course.
I will spotlight you.
So that.
Yes, and I'm not needed really.
Swamini, I sent you the verses.
Yes, you sent me on my group on the Telegram.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I will try to put it here. Otherwise, maybe I send Sakrananda because I'm. Let me see. I'm trying to. Yes, you put it on. Yes, on a picture. Let me try to send that. Otherwise, maybe I will find. Just give me a moment. Yes, you still see me, right? Maybe you don't see me. I will just open my Telegram to take the picture. Maybe I will share it, right? I can do a sharing maybe on the screen. It will be beautiful. It's a very nice picture with the verses. I like it. And we have Lord Vishnu. I told you, this is how it is in when we work. We talk about something and here he comes. We talk about Lord Vishnu and he appears. So let me try to share this with you. I mean, as you wish us to see you. Maybe it's good to see you, and share just the words. Let's do both. Let's see you first. I put the words in the chat and then I share. And then at one point I share because I also want to enjoy seeing you both singing. And I'm sure everyone wants to see you as well singing. And I will also share on YouTube after. I will make a small video, and if you allow me to send you live.
I would like to ask you to share the screen now, because we are going to sing the verses now.
Okay.
Then we sing some other thing.
Okay. Sure. Yes. If you need it, no problem. Yes. So let me share that then. I have to put it on my desktop. Sorry. Sharing where I am. No, I can go into files. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah. Otherwise, I can give you the host, and maybe you can do it from your side. Let's do like this because you have it. Maybe I put your host. Just a second. It's better. Yes, you are here, and just you have to give me back then after. Yes, like this, you have all the rights to mute everyone, do what you want. want you are the music is in your hands. Beautiful, amazing. Yes. For the YouTube viewers, I will put a glimpse of the song. I will put it in the videos of the day. So just go there and see. But you will hear, if you are here live, you will hear the music. But if you want to see, I will put a video separately. We are on Zoom. Let's sing together also on YouTube. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Dharmasya Glanirvavati Bharata Abhyutanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Panyam Paritranaya Sadhanam Vinashaya Chadukshritam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sampavami Yuge Yuge Om Hari 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 Om Vishwananda Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Jai Gurudev, thank you so much. So amazing. Haribol, everyone. It was like so beautiful quality music. We have to listen to this live. I hope we'll make a retreat and we will have live music and Bhagavad Gita and Lingam and meditation, everything. Wonderful. Do you want to share something? Do you want to do a meditation, do a sharing, sing Om Namo Narayanaya? Do you want to sing more? Just let me give the word to the public as well. This is your event. If you wish to, if you feel to sing more, you can sing more. Let's see who is answering first. We went into a singing mood. And Yes.
The host already because
Yes.
So please.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Or should I make it? I don't understand.
You can just put me host back. It's fine. Yeah, and let's have some sharing maybe a little bit together. So I give a break. Then after I will give you a break, a lunch break. Have time to prepare and eat something, and we meet. We meet again. We'll see together how we feel, because you are here since morning, and maybe you have things to do as well. It's a full day for us, but you can also enjoy the day, do other things as well. It's fine. So do you feel like singing more? Do someone feels like sharing? Sakrananda, I saw you coming first. You want to say a word? Let everyone say a word. I can let you say something.
I mean, I have a lot of experience, but not about Krishna and Radha. It's a lot about Gurudev.
About Guruji, of course. That is, you see, Lord Krishna is the form of Guruji. Yeah.
Okay, I will make my ready to share something when I'm ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. I'm sure if you just want to say a word to everyone, I let you all say something. If you want to unmute your mic, I think you can unmute your mic and just say a few words. If you want to say something, share something, so you also feel part of everything. It's good for the energy to circulate, and like this we all feel good. Or put something in the chat if you want to say hello everyone. It's good to let's get united. Let's let the energy circulate. Okay, Ujjwala, you feel like singing more? You want to sing something more? Yeah, of course, always. You don't have to ask me. I will always say yes. So, do you feel like having some more music? Raise your hand. Yes. Oh, you are. It seems they are all silent. I don't know. What do you feel like doing right now? Everyone, it's fine. We move on with Bhagavad Gita. Let's have one more bhajan. I feel it's good for us. It will awaken us as well. Yeah, I want one more bhajan. So I will be a little bit selfish on the it's still the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. I didn't purify everything. So let's take this excuse. Let's have one song more, and then we move further, and then I will give you a little bit of introduction to the next chapters, and we have a break, lunch break. And whatever you don't have, you will find it on YouTube. I'm on live non-stop on YouTube, so you will find it on YouTube. Okay. You find everything until this evening. I will put all the glimpses there. Yes. Kalyana Krishna. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Let's go into Kalyanam of Krishna.
Yes, just imagine, you know the story of Krishna fighting with Kalia. Hopefully everybody knows the story. So just imagine
Kalia
Krishna jumped in the water and he's fighting with Kalia there, and then all the people at the river, they are standing there and they are like shouting, yeah, Krishna, Krishna, come on. And they are scared also, of course. And the Kalia comes out of the water and Krishna is dancing his super dance. So the first part of the song is connected to this super dance. Krishna comes out of the water of the river and all the people surround him and they sing for his glory and they are all very happy together. So that will be the other part of the song. So it will be very easy. You are welcome to sing with us. It's always beautiful if you people sing there at your homes, whatever you do. Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Jagadisha.
Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Jagadesha. Jai Jagadesha Hare, Jai Jagadesha Hare.
Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Jagadisha.
Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Jagadesha. Jai Jagadesha Hare, Jai Jagadesha Hare. Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Kalyana Krishna, Jagadesha. Jai Jagadesha Hare, Jai Jagadesha Hare. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Nandalala, Nandala, Govinda Gopala. Krishna Murari Gopala. Nandalala, Nandala, Govinda Gopala. Nandalala, Nandala, Govinda Gopala. Jai Shri Krishna! Jai Shri Krishna! Amazing! Wow! So happy to have you here! Wonderful! Wonderful! So let's come back to Bhagavad Gita and keep our singers fit so that because they have to sing in afternoon maybe as well. So they have to be ready until everyone others are joining too. So let's go back. We'll establish again the hosts thing and yeah, so let's continue. So we said that Lord Krishna is declaring himself as the avatar of the age, verses 7 and 8, page 72. And we had these two beautiful slokas. If you join us now, wherever on Zoom or YouTube. So Krishna declares himself as the avatar of the age, saying, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyaham. Whenever there is a decline in dharma and an increase of adharma, it is then that I manifest myself. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadukshtutam dharma samstapan artaya sambhavami yuge yuge, for the protection of the good, for the destruction of the wicked, and to establish dharma, I incarnate myself from age to age. And let's see again what Guruji says. Let's have some parts of his commentary. Yes?
Is it possible you can make your screen?
Yes, I will make my screen. I will put my screen in the evidence and let you have a break. Yes, just let me fix that. I have to, unless you want to stay there. Yes, it's here. Okay, wonderful. I came back to the full screen. So let's see some parts of the commentary of Guruji. So it's good to have Guruji's insight here as well. Here, Bhagavan Krishna is saying he comes forth from age to age whenever righteousness is covered by unrighteousness, whenever evil starts to predominate in the world, and when it is threatening and destroying cultures and the world. For the good and benefit of this world, Bhagavan manifests himself, and he manifests himself by his own willpower. People can't understand the ultimate, God himself, the Lord of all creation, the one who is ever pure, who is awakened and ever free, who is playing every role in his creation. It is too difficult for the mind to understand. Even if one tries to understand it, it's far beyond the mind. Krishna says here, even if you become a great yogi, even if you are centered in the self, you will realize only one step of realization. My true nature, the self of the self, can't even be realized by yogis. Imagine where we are. That's why he says, I'm veiled. I came into birth by my Maya. His own veil of illusion. Huh? We have here Maya means illusion. And he is permanently covered so that we can't know who he is. He's playing this game as well, and it's about our awakening. I'm veiled. I came into birth by my Maya. When I will it, I manifest. I'm ever free to take any form, but any time. I'm not bound by time or by space. I'm not bound by anything, not even by the scriptures. God is ever free. He can do whatever he wants. Some people would ask, how can this be possible? This is just a human being. How can he be God? Arjuna is asking the same questions. How can he be God? Here you see the doubting human mind. But God is beyond that. Even if he appears to be very human, he's not human. The saints and sages can only have a glimpse of the reality. What he shows to the sages is only a little aspect of himself. This raises them to a very high degree of spirituality, but not to the ultimate self, ultimate himself. And then he says, what we saw, Krishna says, I manifest myself from time to time, taking various forms, appearing in different places. Sometimes I remain unknown to the world, incognito. Yet whatever I do it for the sake of uplifting mankind. So let's take a moment and meditate how difficult it can be for a human being. Of course, it's not the Lord is detached, but still, when you see how difficult it is for us to discover the Lord in all the forms, right, and accept him in all the forms, accept him in the people near us, sometimes how difficult it is. This is why this war is starting, because we can't accept others sometimes. And exactly what Guruji says in the commentary, it's exactly like this, that people can't understand that someone can be an extension on earth and can be the avatar himself. And many avatars, many forms of the divine came on earth. And is it how it is? And the mind will always doubt, even when the mind listens. Sometimes our mind calms down and we have this listening and we have experiences coming. Still, it is difficult to comprehend. Guruji says that we will see a part of the Lord, but not the Lord himself. And let's think of Guruji. Let's think of our experience, because we are experienced people here. We have some small or big experiences. I just saw how he inaugurated recently Shri Vital Dham and all the leelas that happen, the avatars who appeared in the sky, you know. So at the same time, rituals were going on in Springen. And now at the same time, rituals are happening in different ashrams and different temples, and how this energy is spreading around. And it's not that Guruji could not do that before. We could have had these ashrams long back, but simply we are not ready for that. Europe was not ready for that. And whoever is serving now, I mean, you need to have people. You can put a lot of ashrams there. You just click your hands and the lands are coming and the ashrams are coming. And this is what is the beauty, the strength of Guruji, because it is really like this. It is miraculous the way he acts. But we were simply not ready. And I remember the story that the Swamis were reporting when they were in Kumbh Mela long back, I think maybe 2012, 2013. And there were so many gurus there, because Kumbh Mela is the biggest meeting with all the gurus of the world and the sages and very special sadhus coming from the mountain, from the caves. And the Swamis were seeing, and even people could see, that Guruji did not install a tent by that time. He didn't want to install anything. He was just going and visiting and linking. He was creating this connection between him and Shiva aspect. You know, there was an avatar of Shiva who was there, you know, someone who is also incarnating Shiva aspect. And he was going to meet the saints. Guruji likes the saints. And this is how a Vaishnava is. He really has all the qualities of a Vaishnava, being able to be so humble in front of all the saints, to honor them, like Jesus, who was washing the feet of his disciples. It's a little bit like this, you know, when we see Guruji, how simple he makes himself. When he goes to India, especially, you know, in front of all the saints, he will be so humble and so compassionate. And yeah, we could ask the question why he did not install a big tent with a lot of images of him by that time. Of course, it happened since, so we are installing things in Kumbh Mela now. I was there in 2019, and we had a very nice event, and we had recently also again a Kumbh Mela in Vrindavan with Swamini Mohini and Swami Ranga Ramanuja. And what happened is that Guruji was letting them talk, saying, okay, why we don't have this, we don't have that. And suddenly he started to sing. He was invited somewhere, he started to sing, and people were rushing from all the corners. And then I think one of the Swamis says, oh, but we don't have enough postcards and flyers, and we don't have enough cards, we don't have enough communication material to give them all what we will do. And he simply showed them that at any moment he was just increasing the energy, because he's not of this world. So the energy with which he comes, his level of energy is in other at other quantity, other level. And he was saying recently, I will try to find this during the break, the quote when he says that we can't really understand him. What he shows to us, it's really such a small part of what he is, what avatars can show, and what Lord Krishna could show to Arjuna. He had to come so much down to slow down his vibration and to take a form and come close to other. Look, I am the divine. I look like you. I'm a human, but I want to raise you to me. And this is what Lord Krishna will do with Arjuna. Now, during the next steps, next chapters, until chapter 11, he will bring him to him. He will tell him more about his divine reality. And we realized at that time in Kumbh Mela as now that it's very easy. Guruji will accelerate things and energy will get accelerated. Ashrams will come, temples will come. But are we ready for that? Are we ready for that? He knows exactly when we are ready, because he's looking at us, how we evolve, and he's giving us, he's helping us. And I told you many experiences, and when we'll reach a little bit further into Bhagavad Gita, I will tell you how much Guruji changed my life. And I have, even because you came today, I can even give you a gift at the end. That is another surprise. I was knowing there is another surprise, didn't know which one was. I will give everyone a small ebook I made about my life. And even those online, please leave your emails. Your emails in the chat box. I will send you my ebook so you can see in some pages. And I hope this will inspire you to create your own ebook. And if you don't know how, come to me, because you have nice experiences, and I want every one of you to be able to share that. Yes, put your emails also here. Not only you can put your emails down. Some I have, but put them again. And someone copy them, maybe Sakaranda, if you can make a copy of the emails, and if someone else. And until the end of the day, ask people's emails. So I will send you this and more. I will send you more surprises related to Bhagavad Gita, but I'm still working on some things. We are still working. And we'll send you, then Annabella will send you a surprise. She did something with this ebook, so she will also send you. And we have actually many surprises. I said, and more surprises to come. And then I removed it, saying, oh, it will be like too much. What surprises? So we will give you all these gifts because you are there and you are so faithful. I know many of you coming to the programs, and that is so. I'm so touched that you are following what we are doing with our team, and you follow me in the programs. And yeah, it's beautiful. Nice to see. So I will you will see, because I will maybe forget some experiences, but you will have some written already in that ebook quickly. And it's talking about me. It's like a beginning of an autobiography on which I'm working. And so you will have an idea from where I come, what I did, how I met Guruji, and how I felt that there is something more about him. And that is the first ebook. More will come as well. So keep in touch and you will get the whole series, because what we experience is these divine games that we can share this with others later. There is a moment when we receive, and there is a moment when we start giving. And when we start giving, it's showering also. We start showering on everyone. It's just happening from the heart. And that is so nice. Okay, super. Let's continue. So I said that Lord Krishna will reveal himself to Arjuna more and more, and he will start telling him and defining himself as being in action beyond action. And this is such a powerful concept. I will start it now and continue after lunch because I want you to understand this. If you understand action in inaction and beyond action, you understand, with the mind at least, how a guru works and why an authentic guru can do things that are completely crazy and it's completely fine. And that is, and even, you know, even people close to Krishna, Rukmini and Radha had so many experiences when they did not understand. There was that Leela, that Maya coming on them, so they could not understand Krishna, and they were even crying because of that. And this is, if we understand this, that full trust is there so that we can live our path. Because the same way that it hurts us when our mother is strict, it hurts us when our parents are sometimes crazy and they do this for our good. In the same way, it changes the way we see the guru when the guru starts to be strict. You see, Lord Krishna started to be very kind, and he called Arjuna my friend. He came close to him, being equal to him. And my dear friend and my disciple. But then he had to shift him. He had to be a little bit to give him powerful experiences to shift him to another way of understanding. And this is what Guruji does for us. We always say that the relationship with the Guru starts like a honeymoon. And at the beginning, everything is peace and love, and we are friends. And he is sometimes close to us because he knows we are frightened. We are a little bit, you know, like a scared chick there. And he has to relax us and he has to come close because we have to know him a little bit. We have to understand that who he is a little bit. You know, our mind needs to be reassured to have like something common that he can that our mind can relate to, but then progressively he has to work on ourselves. He has to transform us, and he will give us ways to transform, which sometimes are not the best ways, the most pleasing ways. And this is how, the moment he does this, many people leave the path because they are there only to get what they want and not to give something in return. They are not there sincerely to serve. They are there to receive, and a little bit their research is a little bit selfish at the beginning. We are all selfish. We're all like children, right? At the beginning, we want love. We want, all this devotion. We want yes, we want attention. We are craving for attention because because the wound of love and not receiving enough love in this life, that is the wound of humanity, and we all have it. We all have a way. One of the wounds, we say that there are several ones, or patterns or paradigms to change. There are many, many ways in which we put it, and that is in us. And when the Guru will come like a big mirror, clean mirror, this will hurt us because we will see clearly into that. We will see how we function. We will see that we want something, we don't get enough attention, we cannot be the center of the world anymore. I mean, it's shifting, but it's good also. It's not about understanding it in the wrong way, that someone is there to kill us, properly, but we are getting transformed. Like if you want to be a beautiful being after, it's like making a beautiful murti. You have to polish it. When you take a piece You have to take a piece of stone, and through how much process this piece of stone is going. Okay, we are not stone, but still there's so many things to remove here and there and adjust and transform, and we can always improve. It is really selfish and egoistical to say no, and arrogant to say no, I don't have anything to transform in this life. Yes, we have things to learn and can be enriched, and we can have this mutual enrichment and always learn on the path. And this is what Arjuna will also discover step by step. And you will see he's so touched when he receives this big experience that he wanted. He starts asking. You will see after lunch, you will see how he starts asking more and more, Lord Krishna, but reveal yourself to me. Show me who you are. Okay, you are an avatar. I want to see. And this is what many people close to Guruji did until he revealed himself to them. Because you see, at the beginning, when we teach Bhagavad Gita, let's suppose you want to talk about that, and I encourage you to talk a little bit to your friends, or if you share, take Bhagavad Gita, read it. You can do reading Bhagavad Gita and reading Guruji's commentary, which is very clear, and discuss among yourselves. So you can do this. At the beginning, we start with this discussion and everything is so light, and then step by step we enter into something more serious. And this is what happens for Arjuna, and this is the process through which we go also, that we will reach some points, some moments in which we will be challenged. There is no path without challenges. It's normal. The person who says, yes, I just reached, it was very easy, nothing, it's not a true devotee and disciple, and really a real seeker, because a real seeker goes through processes, to questions and answers and tests, and it's transforming. And I think we all went through that. We are here today. We can say, and we will maybe also again go. Why? Because simply when you shift in energy, you shift a state from a state to other state, you have to go through a transition. You have to go through a death and a resurrection. So that point is there. We cannot skip that. What will happen is that we will live this in an easy way. When these moments come, and say, oh, I know, I'm going through a process. We will not be so emotional, but still these changes will be there. And because it's part of our nature, and of all levels of consciousness, we will just move from level to level. Okay, let's do a small meditation, just maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes, and then we go to have lunch on Zoom, those who are on Zoom, and I continue to share some things and share the videos, small glimpses. You can see on YouTube, I share the link. You can see that. Yes, nice to see you, everyone. You can now sharing scam on chat, on both chats. I have some messages. Super. So let's inhale, exhale, let go. And just fix where we are at this point. Chapter 4. So Lord Krishna started like a friend. He even brought himself like a servant, the chariot in front in the battlefield. Of course, he is also the one who is holding the reins. He is the Paramatma. But Arjuna told him, please move the chariot in the middle. I mean, he didn't say, I hope he was more polite than this. But imagine if he realized who he was at the beginning, he could not have done this. He said, okay, the Lord, my Lord, who am I to tell you, move the chariot, right? But this is how it was at the beginning. This is how we are at the beginning. We don't see the greatness of the Lord. And the greatness of the Guru as well. At the beginning, we want to be equal with him. We want to be close, equal, and sometimes maybe we lack respect. Let's see that. It happens. We get angry and we lose respect. We lose that because we don't see clearly. And then how he takes refuge, he accepts to listen to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna starts giving him the science of Sankhya Yoga, telling him, don't worry. You will always exist. Even if you die, your soul never dies. And I never die. And the body only is disappearing. It goes back to matter. But the spirit exists. And then he tells him, focus on your action, be absorbed into that, calm your mind by doing the action, focus on that. And we often say that the hands serving are more sacred than the lips praying, because we are absorbed into that, we are fully into that, we are serving from all our heart, and we forget ourselves at that moment. And this is where we start to do karma yoga, by being detached of what we do, because we forget ourselves, we lose the identity during that moment. Only the action exists. And then Lord Krishna starts revealing himself to Arjuna, telling him that this science, what he just said, this Sankhya yoga, all this karma yoga, all these types of yoga, are very ancient forms of yoga that are from the beginning of the time, because they came with Lord Krishna and they have been given on the battlefield 5,000 years ago. And then Arjuna realizes, oh my God, to whom am I talking? It's not just my friend. He starts being amazed, impressed, a little bit shocked, and curious. That curiosity now starts coming into him. But who is he? And Lord Krishna defines himself as being the one who is coming whenever the dharma, unrighteousness, is on planet Earth. He's incarnating himself to reestablish the righteousness and to protect and destroy the evil, protect the good, destroy the evil. And this is why our Lord Krishna is on planet Earth right now, when so much is going on between good and evil, inside and outside. Okay, let's stay with this and take a deep breath, come back, open your eyes, and prepare yourself to see when you have lunch. How much time you need for lunch? Let's make a poll. How hungry are you? It is Ekadashi, it's fasting today. Fasting means, Ekadashi means no rice, no cereals. But if you didn't start Ekadashi, it's okay. Eat normally. I give you 1 hour because it was very intense. Okay, we meet at 2:00. Fine? Super. Wonderful. See you later. Thank you for being here. Jai Gurudev, everyone.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
See you later. See you at 2:00. Jai Gurudev. Same link, huh?
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, Soleil. Did we take the emails? I will take. Sagranda, you took the emails. I will take the. Wait, I'm making a copy again of the messages. There's never too much.
Sent it to your Telegram address.
Super. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's meet at 2:00. Take you there.
See you later.
See you. Jai Gurudev, everyone online. Start interacting in the chat. This is a live for you as well on YouTube. See you later. So you all want to have lunch as well on YouTube? Okay, I can give you a lunch break as well. And let's meet at 2 p.m. 1 hour from now. Okay, 2:11, because it is 1:11 in France right now. Where are you? In which countries are you? The 6 people online, 7 people online right now. Just write your countries. Dove siete? Qual è il vostro paese? Potete scrivere nel chat. Grazie. Okay, everyone. I hope you also had the meditation. Italia, molto bene. Piacere, piacere. Vegan cooking e Bhakti sound, molto bello. Latvia. Oh, Ringa. Nice to see you. Good. Let's see if everyone is listening. Finland. Oh, nice. You could go in Finland. Oh, I'm happy to know that. Super. Wonderful. Vegan cooking in Bhakti sound. Oh, Svarna Dassi. Sì, 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 ci conosciamo. Vegan cooking, Bhakti sound. Possiamo fare qualcosa in Italia o da qualche parte insieme con questo? Con vegan cooking. Abbiamo bisogno di sempre di mangiare e di avere musica. Wonderful, nice to see that some events are there. I have to come to Latvia. Let's see when. I have to go to Romania as well back. I want to go to India, to Cambodia. Whoever wants to travel with me, just write in the chat as well, because I always need people for Seva. Sì, voglio fare un programma da qualche parte, un ritiro di benedizione con il lingam e anche altre cose, Bhagavad Gita, meditazione. E possiamo avere vegan cooking e Bhakti sound. Oh yeah, Latvia, it's close, maybe, no? Like it is in lockdown now, or how? Now it must be a little bit difficult. Okay, let's see. Anyway, we keep in touch, and I let you know because I have some initiations to do there, and probably I will come. I will have to come physically at one point. Okay, dears, I let you have some food as well. Let's all go and have lunch and meet you after. Okay, good day. See you all after lunch. Bye, Gurudev.